Hello and welcome to Worth Beyond Earth. This is a space for souls who've never quite felt like they belong here on Earth and now are starting to remember why. Here we talk spirituality, crystals, starseeds, the soul's journey across dimensions. I'm Marina and together we will remember who we are, where we came from and why we're here. Let's go beyond. Alright guys, today we have a very interesting conversation because this is going to be the continuation of my transcript from the channeling with Sirius. And today we're going to be answering the question number 3 from the questions that I asked them. So in the previous episode we already answered the questions: what's currently unfolding on Earth and what should starseeds be aware of at this moment, and what role do we starseeds actually play in these current events. But today we're answering the question number 3. What concrete steps should we as starseeds take to fulfill our present mission? So as I already discussed in the second episode of the podcast, our current mission here is to keep together the world that is basically falling apart. Sounds a bit dramatic, and metaphorically speaking, that's exactly how I would imagine it. As I discussed already before, I saw an image in front of my eyes of the earth cracking open and the earth edges falling apart, and the only thing that is still holding the pieces of earth together was the energy that was serving as a metaphorical glue coming from the hearts of different people standing on both sides of the rupture. So effectively, I would say the goal that we came here to fulfill is to help Earth to transition and to save Earth from total disaster and destruction through activating our hearts, activating the energy of our hearts. Of course, everything that comes with the heart chakra, heart center. So it's compassion, acceptance, kindness, love, responsibility, everything that comes from the heart in any person. What did the Syrian representative clarify or maybe made a bit more specific about that? What exactly do we need to do to fulfill our Starseed mission? So first, and this is probably the most painfully learned lesson or knowledge for me personally, gained through an enormous amount of trial and error. Not every starseed has a pre-planned physical mission or a job, or as they say, a career. Oh my God, I was looking for this one my entire life before I realized one very simple truth that today you will hear in a very condensed form. If the flow of life hasn't led you to some specific career or path or very specific job and mission, it means you didn't need it for your mission of serving here as a starseed. And you can, so to say, work anywhere, quote unquote. So it's not important for you to have a very specific job, to be in a very specific place. And as such, you can choose wherever you feel like. You can try different things. And if these things do not interfere with or do not distract you from the main mission with which you incarnated on Earth, you will be helped along the way in that career or in that job. So just do what comes most obviously and easily to you, what interests you, what you would like to experiment with, what you like. And here, of course, a very big exclamation mark. Please try to distinguish between what your ego screams at you and what your true soul desire, true soul interest and passion is, and your curiosity. Of course, we are all born in a society in one place or the other, and we do have societal influence. We have parental influence, we have influence from our friends, from social media. You see everyone being so fulfilled and following their passion and being so successful in career, being so achieved and so productive and yada yada yada. But it doesn't mean that you have to follow your interests that are dictated to you by the society. The the things that they tell you need to do in order to feel happy. You don't have to work a certain job to fulfill your parents' desire, or your partner's desire, or even your own egotistic desire. Like, you can follow, of course, those things, but if they don't suit you, you will feel off. And please honor that feeling off. Do not pursue things that do not feel right for you, or if you are pursuing them right now, find a way to work with it. Like, don't allow it to like consume you and steer you clear from your truth path that you definitely and undoubtedly would feel if you listen to yourself. So again, just do what comes most obviously as an interest for you. And of course, not all the interests and hobbies can be monetized. I'm very aware that we all still need to earn money. We need to function in a society, unless there are certain exceptions, of course, which again you can choose. But if you do need to find a job, connect with your higher self, connect with your true curiosity. And if you happen to have forgotten what your true curiosity is, you need to learn how to get in touch with that. And there are also things and practices and retreats and everything to help you to get connected with yourself again. So please be honest, feel what's right, feel when something feels true and empowering, and distinguish it from things that are feeling restricting and limiting and almost like suffocating to you. So please learn to discern the true calling from the imposed one. So I would say that the consequences of that are that you didn't come here to be an achiever and not necessarily build any material successes, material empires. You don't need to fall for society's provocations that you have to be super accomplished to super productive, as I said. Set the intention to be in the best and most favorable place for you, and hold this intention every day clearly, without strain, without pushing it or forcing it, or without expecting it to come through as soon as possible. And you will be gradually led in the right direction. The less resistance and urgency you exude, the faster and easier you will be brought to the place where you will feel good and comfortable and complete for you, right? But if you do need to work on your sort of psychological acceptance of that, which again comes from the ego part, from the human part, is perfectly fine, it's perfectly normal. We all have that. It's not like there are some people who are just born and they feel their career path, everything is so nice and glorified and everything is rainbows and unicorns. Everyone has doubts, everyone stumbles, everyone can get confused and strayed from from their path. That's totally fine, that's normal. Just remember to check in with yourself and be honest with yourself. Now, second part. Your main task, as I said at the very beginning of the podcast, episode number 2, is to activate your heart center and to live from it. This means that you have already been given the basic setting of empathy. So if you haven't yet worked through your emotional swings, the tendency for self-sacrificing, rescuer tendencies, some spontaneous aggression, and even relationships and attraction to narcissists, it means that you need to focus on working through all these obstacles first. And here I will make another note. Absolutely everyone who come here with the gift of true empathy has a tendency to fall into these states, and will have these tendencies forever. It's a part of our settings, and sometimes these things take us over. It's normal. Sometimes we all tend to be victimizing ourselves and feeling sad and unhappy and feel like everyone is just a perpetrator. Other times we just want to save people in front of us because we see the injustice or pain or suffering they go through, and we naturally want to heal them. It's just part of what empathy is as a gift. But we need to remember that we need to stay centered, we need to stay aware and awaken, and do not allow those basic settings to take us over and run us instead of us running them. You know what I mean? So these settings are just part of how we're built. It's impossible to fully get rid of it. We just need to remember that this exists, these settings exist. And we need to open our heart intentionally when such states occur. We need to mindfully remember ourselves that it's okay to feel this way. It's fine. Even if I overreacted, even if I did a mistake, it's still okay. I need to give the same compassion and empathy to myself that I give to other people. And ironically enough, for empaths, it's so easy to love, forgive, and appreciate other people compared to ourselves. We tend to blame ourselves much more. We tend to have quite negative self-image, people-pleasing tendencies, all of that. That comes from the ego mind, and again, that's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Everyone has it, it's okay. We just need to remember ourselves to stay, or to try to stay as mindful as we can throughout our days. And inevitably, as you have probably noticed as well, we will be tested, we will be given challenges to test and see for ourselves what's our current level of mastery in managing our empathic energy, empathic skill, so we can correct our centeredness if we need to. So I will go into more details on this later on in the last question. Just remember that one of the tasks that we have here as Starseeds is to develop our empathy, develop our heart, opening up, and try to stay awake and aware as much as we possibly can. Another thing, to realize your mission as a Starseed, you simply need to voluntarily and consciously give your consent and, so to speak, pledge yourself to the service of light. Simply consciously promise to yourself, like, it doesn't have to be dramatic, just make this decision internally if you're ready for it. Make this promise to yourself to live from the heart, to give understanding to other people, to share peace, to accept other people. Again, all of this will automatically radiate onto your whole environment. And some people around you won't be able to handle such light and such power of love. That's perfectly fine. Don't blame them. And also, on contrary, don't think that something is wrong with you and that's why you're being rejected. Again, this is the push and pull between narcissists and empaths. Narcissists cannot handle the amount of light that an empath has, and narcissists try to blame the empath for being like that, and all sorts of things occur from that. But it's not the fault of a narcissist that they're like that maliciously or intentionally. It's how they're built right now, and they have the task to work through it, and you have your own part of the task to work through it. So just be present, be compassionate to other person, but also to yourself. Remember that you come first in this case. And sometimes you just have to let people go and wish them well, wish them all the best. And that is your empathic gift for their development and for their growth, ultimately. Next, I would say surround yourself with what is pleasant to you on a daily basis and with something that you like. Be in contact only with pleasant and nice for you people as much as possible, as much as you can, given your specific circumstances. Of course, sometimes these negative relationships are given us either as a test or as a lesson to strengthen our heart, strengthen our empathic gift. So just be mindful of that. But if you have the power, try to limit the impact of unwanted people in your life. Some gossiping people, negative people, complaining people, people who always have health problems and health issues and money issues and problems with the government or society or immigrants or other religions. Like, I would say cut those people out as much as you can. And if it's your family member, you are allowed to say hard no, like, hey, with all due respect, thanks, I got your point, but I really have to do something, so I'll catch you later. You always have the right to put a boundary, and it doesn't mean that you have to be rude or hurtful for other people. You can make it in a very nice but very firm way. And again, as an empath, that's part of the lesson that we came here to learn, is how to create the boundaries that are important for us, that are not the walls, thick and impenetrable, but also not to dissolve completely ourselves in other people, because that also depletes us and it takes out all the vital energy that we have, all the prana. So we need to learn how to put up a mindful boundary that still works for both parties, it's beneficial for both. So another thing on top of that, I would say what is recommended for you is just to try to improve your mood on a daily basis, give yourself more pleasure and more joy, like kids have, like just simply enjoying the moment, and to improve the environment around you. And when you feel happy, when your heart is full, when your heart is happy, everyone around you will be happy as well. You probably already noticed this if you are an empath, that depending on your state, depending on your mood, other people around you will feel the same way. So if you're very angry, if you're tense, if you have a lot of resentment, other people will feel that as well. And on the contrary, when you're happy, when you're walking in the office and you're just the sunshine and everything is amazing, it eventually lifts up the mood of the people surrounding you. But also remember that it works the other way around. If you are surrounded by negative people, that negativity will take you over with time, unless you are super skilled in using your heart center. So it's possible to eventually navigate it, but if you're in the beginning of the process, remember that you need to be mindful, right? And as I also said before, not all starseeds come with the gift of really be super loving and super caring and super Mother Teresa style of empathy, right? There are very many different types of love and many different types of being an empath, and sometimes being a defender and protector, hence being strong, is also part of love. So feel free to explore what it means to you as a starseed. To continue on this suggestion, I would say try to use your favorite things, try to surround yourself with favorite things, your favorite colors, textures, eat your favorite food, engage in your favorite hobbies as much as possible. Prioritize yourself, like your health, your well-being, nutrition, good sleep, time outside in the sun, in fresh air, with nature, with your pets, with your children, with your partner, family, whatever fulfills you, and find your personal rituals for filling up this fresh energy and to get some resource back, whether it's creativity for you, socializing, sports, or literally anything else that fills you up. Of course, less social media, less news. Try to read more, try to be in silence, go on walks, do stretching, have a good night's sleep, do naps if you need to do that, if you love it, absolutely, by all means. Eat home-cooked food, fresh, all of these generic things that we recommend to everyone. For starseeds, it's very, very, very important. As I said already in the previous episode, most of the starseeds come from very undense places where there is no physical body and no material body that you need to learn to use and navigate. And for some starseeds, taking care of the physical body and keeping it happy and functional and healthy, that can already be challenge enough in itself, not even talking about saving the planet, the universe, helping others, healing everyone, and so on. And I know what I'm talking about because I'm one of those people for whom living in the body, in the material physical body, is a huge struggle. Like things around the need to sleep enough, to do sports, to eat properly, it's really something that I needed to learn a lot through trial and error, and there were very many errors, I can tell you for sure. So if you're struggling with that, know that you are not alone. Sometimes your body does weird things that you do not understand, and it's perfectly fine. It is an organism in itself. It's your partner, it's your friend, but it is a thing that is having its own mind, so to say, or several minds, because they say that there is the brain, and the second brain is in the gut. So a lot of interesting nutrition research these days. But going back to the healthy habits and fulfilling your resources, last thing I would add is just, your well-being directly brings well-being to other people around you and people in your space and your environment, your pets, your plants, your neighborhood, so prioritize your well-being, because the power of the radiance of your heart is very, 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 very strong and impacts other people quite a lot. So while you're nurturing yourself, it's not selfish, it's actually for the benefit of others just as much. Another thing is also quite familiar. When I heard it from my conversation with the Syrian representative, I also recognized that, it's quite a common suggestion. Just shine your light, be calm, be friendly, enjoy yourself, enjoy being true to yourself, enjoy being who you are, wear what you want, again, as much as possible in your current situation. Be tolerant, be aware, accept other people, share your warmth with others. Don't fall for the ego's provocations. Don't blame yourself for being imperfect, for example. Give compassion to others, but also to yourself. To be human means a priori to never really reach perfection. So letting go of trying, being perfect, and being as amazing as you have it in your head, it's not even possible. So I would say just try to enjoy the balance, the restfulness, the calmness of the environment. I would say that this is going to be a very big resource for you. And one more thing that I would add for the second question. For starseeds on Earth, there is no real goal to become enlightened and reach spiritual perfection. There is no really super urgent and overpowering task to work on yourself and ascend, because sometimes in spirituality, in this community, the whole idea, the whole point of life is to just dedicate every waking second to practicing and trying to reach enlightenment. I would say that so far, for starseeds, I have not noticed that this is a relevant goal. Of course, the goal to work on yourself is present in everyone's life, and it's very reasonable and very relevant to try to improve yourself so that your life quality improves, but there is no need for you to try to reach an enlightenment. And this is also quite a polarizing topic probably, and some people will argue, maybe because I can't really express my full opinion on this topic here within this conversation on this topic, because I think it's much deeper than that, and maybe some people can take it out of context, and maybe I'm a bit misrepresenting my full thoughts on that. So let's just leave it at this. This is the channeling that I received from a representative from Sirius, and I do agree with this statement as it sounds right now. If you want me to have a bit more of a conversation on this topic and what do I personally think about it, let me know. I'll be happy to share that as well. So what else can I say about this? Most of the starseeds, I would say, already vibrate on higher vibrations because of where you come from, and not because that you did some spiritual work earlier, that you have ascended to that plane or level. You might have been simply born there, You might have been born into higher vibrational world and never had any problem being there at all. So because that's your natural state, it doesn't mean that you have to earn the right back to that state. And again, it's not only for starseeds, it's actually for all the souls like that, but especially for the starseeds. Some people just tend to, deep dive into spirituality and just meditate for sake of, stop thinking altogether. And that's impossible. And that's not the goal. That's not why we're here. That's not why the starseeds are here right now, at this point anyway. So please don't fall into the trap of this endless self-improvement, endlessly processing your childhood traumas in therapy and stuff like that. If you enter therapy, if you go into this relationship with a psychologist or therapist, that's perfectly suitable for you right now. It's amazing. Work through what you need, precisely, specifically, to the point, and then move on. Don't leave hanging for years in a state of like this eternal improvement and search for perfection. I believe that this is also an illusion that kind of loops us inside of our own head. It's a trap of the mind, and essentially it's a trap of the ego. So try to let go of this. That's the suggestion that I received, and simply accept that as long as you're human, you will be imperfect, and it's perfectly fine. You will never exit, the matrix while you are incarnated as a living human, as a living being, because the matrix is the dense body itself. The matrix is the matter. You can't escape the matrix as long as you are a physical body. The only way to escape the matrix is to disincarnate, is to leave your human body. So that's definitely not the goal, and that's definitely not the goal for Starseeds. You did not come here to live as soon as you possibly can. You still have to do something here. And of course, there is nothing bad about wishing to leave and go back to your place where it's probably easier and more familiar to you. But just consider the fact that you're here for a reason and with a purpose, and that you chose this place yourself for a reason. So trust yourself on making this choice. And that was it for today, guys. Thank you for being with me today here. Next time we will answer the fourth and the last question in this series about pain and suffering of the starseeds, whether it's inevitable, whether it's necessary, whether it's a choice, whether it's needed. So if you're curious, listen to the next episode of the podcast. And for today, I have only one thing to add. Remember who you are, stay curious, stay open. You are worth beyond Earth. Until next time.